now they're just a reminder of the darkest night. I wander through the moments.
Yeah, this is the Mail Radio. We want to thank our listeners for joining us on the afternoon beat of broadcast. We want to quickly come out with a statement. They do say that there are a lot of admission racketeering process in Nigeria tertiary institutions. They do say it that people who genuinely merit admissions are denied admissions, and people who don't merit it are given admission. We want to commend JAMB. We truly want to commend JAMB for coming out with a statement yesterday through the public communication advisor to JAMB, Dr. Fabian Benjamin. Dr. Fabian Benjamin came out yesterday to say that two tertiary institutions, their names were withheld, want to come out with a diversionary tactics. The statement yesterday from Fabian says one of the institutions is in the southwest and another is in Abuja. JAMB, the Joint Admission Matriculation Board, issued a stern warning to tertiary institutions allegedly luring or coercing qualified candidates, particularly those ranked high on the central admission processing system, to switch from their choosing programs to less subscribed ones through internal school portals. The statement, according to JAMB spokesperson, describes such practice as unethical and manipulative. The board condemned it as a deliberate attempt to distort the merit-based admission process designed to ensure transparency, accountability, and fairness. According to JAMB, some institutions have been exploiting their internal systems to pressure top-ranking candidates into relinquishing their rightful admission slots, thereby creating space for preferred applicants to move up the admission list. In the words of JAMB yesterday, the board, in quotes, says all admission processes in Nigeria must be conducted solely through the JAMB CAPS platform. The board reiterated, emphasizing that any change of program or admission action carried out outside CAPS is unauthorized, unethical, and potentially harmful to the affected candidates. In a statement to this effect on Monday through Fabian Osuji, its public communication advisor, the board further noted that any candidate who succumb to such persuasive and to such persuasion or ploy, to take them to their less subscribed courses, and later effect a change of program on CAPS, will be deemed to have done so voluntarily. Consequently, JAMB will not be held responsible for any negative outcomes resulting from such actions. According to JAMB, it says that preliminary investigation, according to statements, have identified a university in the southwest and another in Abuja has been involved in the practice. The board disclosed that regulatory measures have already been initiated to curb these infractions and to safeguard candidates' interest. According to JAMB, the statement says, in quote, candidates are strongly advised to ignore any invitation or request to change programs through institutional portals or unofficial channels. The statement warned. JAMB reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to a merit-driven, transparent, and equitable admission process for all qualified candidates in the 2025 admission cycle and beyond. Interestingly, A university in Abuja was mentioned, and another one in the southwest was mentioned. Coincidentally, a statement is making the round, and an unverified statement purportedly released from the University of Abuja, saying that it is from the admission committee of the office of the vice chancellor. This is unverified because we've not heard a formal communication from the University of Abuja. The statement says, "Dear prospective University of Abuja students, this is to inform all 2025 and 2026 prospective students of University of Abuja who apply to study the underlisted courses that there is no longer vacancy in their choosing course, but they may, however, choose from any of the courses listed as alternative courses to the course they apply to study. Note that any course choosing outside the list of alternative courses to the original course applied for will not be considered. Admission will be treated on a first come, first served basis based on the availability of spaces." The statement, the unverified statement, purportedly coming from the admission committee, University of Abuja, also says that prospective candidates should also note that program change does not in any way guarantee admission. Candidates are advised to visit any CBT center or JAMB office nearest to them to change course. The change of course window is open until Wednesday, 5th November 2025. As a matter of fact, the unverified statement purportedly coming from the University of Abuja Admission Committee under the office of the Vice Chancellor, I quote, unverified, says that those who apply to study medicine and surgery, nursing, medical laboratory science, microbiology, pharmacy, and biochemistry may change to agriculture, botany, zoology, chemistry education, environmental education, Greek education, biology education, and integrated science education. For those who want to study computer science, the unverified letter, visibly not signed by anybody, but showing University of Abuja Admission Committee, Office of the Vice Chancellor, says that those who want to study computer science can go for statistics, mathematics, physics, mathematics education, and physical education. It says for those who want to study law, can change to history and diplomatic studies. We from the main radio, who have a collection, a community of patriotic Nigerians, we want to implore the University of Abuja to quickly come out and refute this letter if they know that this purported letter, making the rounds on the internet, is not from the admission committee under the office of the Vice Chancellor. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Matthew Adamu, should immediately direct its media office to refute the circulation of this letter and say that this letter is not from the University of Abuja, because it's not just a coincidence. Yesterday's letter from Fabian Benjamin, the public communication advisor to JAMB, did mention a university in Abuja, but did not mention University of Abuja. So this is not a coincidence. This letter is not coming as a coincidence. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Matthew Adamu, who is an acting Vice Chancellor, having a tenure of 3 months to act as an acting Vice Chancellor, should immediately direct its media office to refute this letter that has been going on circulation. Not until this letter is refuted by the authorities and management of University of Abuja, this letter may still be deemed to have come from the admission committee of the office of the Vice Chancellor. It is more important, it is most important, looking at the fact that yesterday's statement from JAMB mentioned a university in Abuja, and yet this letter, goes viral, telling intended candidates to either go for less subscribed courses or alternative courses, because it says their courses of intents is filled. So we employ the Vice Chancellor to immediately direct its media people to refute this letter, because this thing has gone viral and it can mislead. It has the intention of misleading, of misguiding candidates, to effect change of course. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. JAMB stakeholders met under the leadership of the Minister for Education and set all the standards and set all the criteria for admission in Nigeria, and put a deadline of 31st of October that every public university in Nigeria should be done with the admission process. And yet, some universities like the University of Abuja and host of others are still keeping this thing, lingering. The system is there. The criteria are there. They are clear cut. Why don't you come out with your admission list based on those who you deem fit to have merited this admission? Unnecessary procrastination, unnecessary delay. They say, justice delayed is justice denied. This thing has been unduly delayed, and the more you delay it, the more the system is open up for manipulation. This is why we are not surprised with JAMB statements yesterday that a university in Abuja and another one in the southwest want to come out with a cohesive and unscrupulous and unethical ways to distract the attention of those who have duly merited admission, who have scored high, from the caps of JAMB. Want to distract them, come out with a plot to distract them and come out with an alternative courses for them, so that those who probably have maneuver their ways through, maybe through nepotism, maybe through money, maybe through influence, maybe through racketeers who have gotten money from these persons. You want to fill them up and display those who have merited admission. We want JAMB to follow through on its words. We want JAMB, the statement released yesterday from JAMB, we want JAMB to follow through on its word and ensure that this process is genuinely transparent, that this process is fair, that this process is truly meritorious. The unverified statement coming out using the letterhead of the University of Abuja, coming out from the admission committee and the office of the Vice Chancellor. We want the University of Abuja, the authorities under the leadership of Professor Matthew Adamu, to refute that letter and say that letter is not coming from the office of the Vice Chancellor. It's not coming up from the admission committee set up under the office of the Vice Chancellor, because that statement could be misguided, could be a ploy to divert the attention of meritorious candidates, applicants who genuinely needs to be given admission based on merits. JAMB should follow through on its words and make sure that this process is truly transparent, make sure that this process is truly fair, make sure that those who are deserving to be given admission get admission. And of course, 17th of November should be sacrosanct. We see no reason why some public universities in Nigeria will be allowing this admission process to delay unnecessarily. After the policy statement that came out from stakeholders since July that admission must end by 31st. So JAMB must ensure that this thing is sacrosanct. 17th of November is sacrosanct, and that the process is transparent, fair, and meritorious. and meritorious. We want to thank our community of patriots, our ardent listeners of the main radio, wherever you are. Thank you, because together we can make our nations great. We can make Nigeria develop. I tell you, Nigeria has all the potentials that she needs to grow, to develop, and to advance. We must put an end to corruption. We must put an end to racketeering. We must put an end to nepotism, and make sure that the best and those who are deserving to be rewarded, knowledge-based rewards gets it. Intellectual-based rewards gets it. Enough of mediocrity. Enough of putting round pegs in round holes. And I know that Professor Matthew Adamu, the acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Abuja, we do the needful. We don't want to believe that that statement is coming from the office of the Vice Chancellor. This is why at the main radio we employ the authorities of the University of Abuja to immediately refute that statement if they know that the press release and the press statement is not coming from their office.